What is up, guys? This is Josh with Lead and Iron. In today's video, I want to introduce you to DaVinci Resolve 17. DaVinci Resolve is the world's only solution that combines editing, color correction, visual effects, motion graphics, and audio post-production all in one software tool. Its interface is fast to learn and easy enough for new users, yet powerful enough for professionals. DaVinci Resolve lets you work faster at a higher quality because you don't have to learn multiple apps or switch softwares for different tasks. This means you can work with your camera's original quality images throughout the entire process. It's like having your own post-production studio in a single app. When I tell you DaVinci Resolve is amazing, not only will it help you in your beginning stages, but it will allow you to grow using the same software. I really hope that you like this series, and let's get started. Now, to download DaVinci Resolve, all you have to do is hit Google, type in DaVinci Resolve. As you see, I already have it, but all you have to do is make sure that it says blackmagicdesign.com. Click DaVinci Resolve. It will bring you to the DaVinci Resolve page, and there's a free download, and there's also a studio version that is more for like Hollywood professionals, 3D animation, stuff like that. What you just want to download for now is DaVinci Resolve free download, and once you get it all set up and you extract all the files, it will prompt you to have a icon on or shortcut on your desktop, and all you have to do is just open it. It'll help you set up. It'll give you different interfaces that you may seen in the past, like Final Cut Pro kind of layouts like that. We'll go to Untitled Project, and it brings you into here where you see that you have a media pool, and this is your timeline. Now, there's a few different ways that you can import media. One, you can right click and import media this way. You can use File, Import Media this way, or there's this right here that imports media as well. You push the button and it sends you, like if you were right clicking. So let's right click, we'll import media here, and we'll look for just any type of media. It's going to tell you that the frame rate is going to change, which is perfectly fine. And here's your media. Now, one thing that I didn't do that I normally do is I create bins to help me separate my media from videos, photos, sounds, music. So this bin would be called video. Videos, we'll take that and put it in here, and then create a new bin, and we'll call that one sounds, music, stuff like that. Now you're separated. It's not just all in one big area. It's really nice to work like that. It was a trick that I learned when I maybe like my third, fourth video in from somebody that had been editing before. So let's go back into videos. We'll double click on this, and it will open, so you can see, you can kind of preview it and script through it. And here we go. As you can see that it appeared over here. Hasn't appeared on the timeline yet because you have not dragged it down there, but you're able to scrub through this, as you see, and you can also scrub through it like this. Let it play this way. Perfect. Okay, so you're comfortable with this. You want to take this and drag it to your timeline. Perfect. And you see how there's a long pause before I even start talking. Now, these are the things that you want to edit out. So I start talking here, and you can see the audio line. Let's go out here. Now we can go right to edit, and it brings up your timeline, your audio, and your video. It separates it, and I'll tell you this, it makes it so much easier when you start editing. You'll be able to see where to make cuts and whatnot. So this is your cut tool. It's a razor blade. And as you can see, the blade edit mode is B, so you can use Control B as a hotkey and it will blade or cut where you want it to cut. Now let's go through here and we'll see where we want to cut first. We know this is empty space, so let's scrub over to right before we see audio come in.
All right.
And now you don't want any of that dead space, so let's take that tool, and for this purposes, so since you can't see me hit Control B, I will use the way this is so you guys can see it. And right before we start seeing this audio, I want to make a cut, and then I'm going to go to my selector tool and take that and just hit delete, and it will bring it back to the front.
So I got a package from Deco Gear.
So I want to get rid of all those ums. So I know here, and so I'm going to start right about here and go right before and hit my selector tool and delete, and it automatically brings it to the end of the other clip.
From Deco Gear, some bookshelf speakers that were...
Now I want to clean this up a little bit, so I want to take this tool again and cut here and cut right before my next vocal line there. Hit delete, brings it forward. Let's check this out again.
Speakers that were reasonably priced.
So let's find out where I messed up, and then to mark a place, all you have to do is hit M. So let's look.
That were reasonably
So we'll hit M right here, and you see this little line, this blue dot that appeared. Now this marked it for me to say this is the area I need to cut.
Reasonably priced.
And I can take my razor tool, line it up with this, make a splice, go back, make sure I don't have to make a splice anywhere else.
Some bookshelf speakers that were reasonably priced.
So I want to keep the were in there.
Speakers that were...
So right after I say were, you're going to see that there was a slight pause, and that's where you want to cut. And we'll take this, hit our selector tool, delete, and now let's see how that turned out.
Bookshelf speakers that were reasonably priced at $59.99.
And I want to take that pause out. You see how much cleaner it came, and the help with the mark tool told me exactly where to cut, and it showed me. So you can go throughout your whole video timeline and mark every single one of those if you wanted to. I like to do it this way so I don't miss anything. But I'm going to take that razor tool again in this break right here, and right before I start talking again, I'm going to make a cut, take my selector tool, and I'm going to delete, shift it to the left. Now let's look at that again.
That were reasonably priced at $59.99. And what I'm going to do is...
Now let's go back. I want to mark the area where I said and what.
And what I'm going to do
is... So that was a little after late. So we'll hold Control Z, undo it. We'll go back.
And what I'm going...
So let's go. I want to keep the knife kind of scraping the tape, so let's look at this again.
At $59.99. And what I'm going to do is...
Now all that dead space I want to get rid of. I'm going to cut right here, cut where my timeline is, delete it, and it shifts to the left.
What I'm going to do is pair it up with this. I'm going to pair it up with this Leppy little amplifier.
So now we know. Now if you had multiple camera angles, after I said that, I can mark this and it will say marker 2. You can show what timestamp it was, and it's the second marker. You can even put a name to it. So let's say that you wanted to make sure that you added a second camera angle LEPI. Add here. Done. Now, when you hit that marker, you can see that you need to add something opposed to we just cut. But we can even name, if you wanted to go through your whole thing, make a whole bunch of different mark points and then add them in here like this. You can name them all. That one was cut. Already done. And now you see the cut's already been done. So I can avoid that one and I can move to this next one. And you see here that it says second camera LEPI. Lets me know that the LEPI part of the video is coming and I need to add the second camera here. So that's how you would use marker. I showed you how to cut. So let's pretend that you wanted to import media of that second microphone, and we'll just, or the second camera, and we'll just say it's this one. And now you want to add that here, because that's where it said add it here. And now you have your second camera angle. But now you're going to have two different audios. So you can either get rid of one or you can sync it up, which there's a tool to do that, and I'll show you that in a different video. So let's say that you want to disable this audio right here. So we'll mute track. And now this audio is mute. So
little amplifier. This way I can see budget-wise.
now you see how the camera angle switched? So now you can make cuts into here. So let's say I want to go back.
That we can get some good audio quality.
And I hit a mark, and right here I want to cut. I'll cut right there. And I will delete the rest of this. And now it will switch back to my original camera angle.
Amplifier.
Switched.
This way I can see budget-wise that we can get some good audio quality for
switch back.
less than $100.
Now you have two different timelines for that same video, two different camera angles you can use, and you can do that throughout your video if you wanted to break this up, or let's say it was just an image. You can add that in there above the timeline, and if it has audio, it will bring in the audio, and all you have to do is mute it if they're the exact same audio, which most people do because it's the exact same video. It's just from a different point of view. So now that you know how to do that, let's say that you're done. You're happy with how all the media turned out. Your cuts are good. Everything's good. There's no more media that you want to bring in. But here's the fusion I was talking to you. This we'll use in a later video. I'll show you how to use these nodes. Well, as much as I know how to use them. And then also in another video, we'll show you how to color grade, which is really cool. You can kind of save the color grades that you want and apply them to other videos. But Farlight is another cool, and I told you how it has a whole bunch of different apps in one app. So you don't have to go searching for anything. Here is all your audio. You can distort, you can do anything with your audio pretty much in here, which we'll go over again in another video. This is just basic simple cuts, and I want to show you how to render. So we'll go to deliver, which is right here. It's going to show you Then you can rename this. So we'll rename this Intro DaVinci Cuts. Real short, right? Format QuickTime. You can see that there's a whole bunch of different type of formats. QuickTime's fine. The codec I want to use is H.264. You can use H.265. There's a whole bunch of different in there. You can see my frame rate is 60. My resolution is 3840 by 120, ultra high def. And you're okay with all of that. You can just add this to the render queue. And the way you want, let me back up. So now you want to save it to a place. So I'm going to use my F drive, and I am going to put it into my OBS capture. I'm going to save it there. And now all I have to do is add this to the render queue, which is right there. And it's all the way down here at the bottom. You see that? Add to render queue. So you click on there. It's going to say it's untitled. And all you want to do is just render this out. It's going to tell you a time. So it's going to be 31 minutes. This is kind of a long video, so I'm not going to render it out because I have already. But it's going to show you step by step that it's rendering it out. I'm going to stop it. The job is canceled, and I want to go in here. We'll go to F, OBS capture, and here's that video that would have been rendered out. And that's basically your basic cuts, your basic, editing, sound, importing media, adding them to a timeline, and rendering. So that's how you render. In the next video, we'll go over adjusting sound volumes. We'll go over far light just a little bit more. And then we'll also go over a little bit of color correction. So stay tuned for that video. Thank you guys for watching. If you really like this type of video, please thumb the videos up. Leave a comment down below. But I gotta go because my back hurts.